call the regularly scheduled city council meeting to order. If I can ask you all to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, or rise for the opening prayer, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Giving tonight's invocation will be Pastor Bill Quinn of Trinity Presbyterian Church. Is Pastor Quinn here? All right, I don't see him. Jimmy, how do you feel about giving an invocation?
Be happy to do it.
All right.
All right. Y'all please bow your heads. Gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, for our friends, our families, and the many blessings you've given us. We just thank you for the city of Fairhope, for the city workers, and we just ask that you give us your guidance and your blessing over this community and just help us to make wise decisions that are in the best interest of all those that reside here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Council. Thank you, Councilman Conyers, for giving that invocation. First order of business will be to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting, work session, and special called city council meeting from September 23rd and September 30th. Do you have any additions, deletions, or changes to those minutes?
Make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Mayor Sullivan, your report, please.
Just have a couple items tonight. The first thing I want to do is recognize our electric crews who have been in Winter Park, Florida. Most of us know that Fairhope has been the recipient of mutual aid from electric crews who come in after we have storms. And so whenever we have the possibility of going and helping another community, we like to do that. We were called upon to go to Winter Park, so we've been down there. And then late last week, we left and went to New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and have been there. I think they'll probably be coming back tomorrow, but we have a crew of 10 down there. So thankful for them. When I sent them down there, they were actually in the path of the storm. So I kind of felt like their mother. I was calling the hotel, wanting to know what their wind rating was, wanting to know, when they were built, all kinds of stuff. Those people thought I was crazy, but I felt like I was sending my kids off to some wild party. And just wanted to make sure they were safe. They did great, of course, and were such a great representative of Fairhope. But I just wanted to share that a letter that I received, and it said, "Good afternoon, my name is Chris Holtz. I live in Winter Park, Florida, and Wednesday night we were hit by a Category 4 Hurricane Milton. At my house, a giant oak tree fell, knocking our power pole over, sending a transformer into my yard. A crew of men, all from the city of Fairhope, were dispatched to restore the pole and the electricity to the neighborhood. This group of 8 to 10 guys were so incredibly polite, a joy to talk to, sharing stories and even taking time to play with my kids. I have never been to Fairhope, Alabama. However, if the group of linemen you sent to help our town during the storm is an indication of Fairhope's population, then you are blessed to live in a great place. I didn't catch any of their names, although I'd imagine they won't be hard to find. These men did a great job and want to make sure I give them an extra thank you and relay to all of you how well they represented your city. You should be very proud." So, such a great letter to receive, and again, really thankful for those guys and the sacrifices they make to do mutual aid along with their families. So, just wanted to share that publicly. Also tonight, more good news. I would like to recognize Dave Friedel. Dave is with our Airport Authority. Dave, you want to come up? And also, we have Don Ward here and Pell Henry, who are chair of the Airport Authorities. Just thank y'all for being here. So Dave has been named the Airport Manager of the Year, which is exciting, by the Aviation Council for Alabama. So most of you know there are a lot of great things happening out at the airport. FBO operators start this week, a lot of great construction, and Dave has just been a huge addition to the operations of the airport and how well things are managed out there along with the Airport Authority. So I just wanted to publicly commend him on this recognition and tell him thank you for doing such an outstanding job and for being such a great representative of Fairhope. We're proud of you. Glad to have you. Thank you. He doesn't want to say anything, but again, I wanted to recognize him publicly for that great accomplishment and just let him know how grateful we are to have him as part of the team here in Fairhope. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda will be public participation for agenda items only. If you'd like to approach the council on agenda items 5 through 34, if you'll please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, you'll be given 3 minutes. Okay, seeing none, I will close public participation for agenda items. Okay.
Got one?
Hey, y'all. Dev Wakely, 8856 Lakeview Drive. Here to speak on agenda item 5. Just wanted to support this and say that modernizing the leave donation system and allowing that to a greater extent possible is, I spoke on this last time it came up. Great idea, good practice in keeping with a lot of existing practices at a lot of public agencies that enables workers to take time off when they need it without experiencing undue financial hardship. So once again, I thank y'all for putting this forward. I hope you all vote in favor of it. And there are additional steps going forward that can be greater steps forward that can enable retention to increased amounts. But this is a great step, and it's going to benefit a lot of people. Thank y'all for doing it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Once again, agenda items only. There will be another opportunity to come to the council at the conclusion of tonight's meeting with anything that may not have been on the agenda. Okay. I'll close public participation for agenda items and move to council comments. Councilman Conyers?
Yes, I just wanted to offer my condolences to the family and friends of Ann Miller. Ann was a longtime owner of M&F, especially to her daughters, Carol, Barbara, and Leslie. But M&F Casual is just a fixture in downtown Fairhope for many years, and their entire family's been heavily involved in the downtown merchants, and just a wonderful person. And wanted to just pass that along because she was such a fixture here in Fairhope.
Thank you very much. Councilman Robinson?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to apologize, I guess, publicly for having to miss our last council meeting. You know, as things happen, there are occasions where we cannot be here. We have 2 that are out sick tonight. But that was a very interesting council meeting, and as difficult as it appeared to be, I would attend 10 of those as opposed to what I was going through at the moment. If you have never seen or felt what a combination of salmonella and E. coli can do to someone, I hope you never find out. But I would like to thank the good doctors at Thomas Hospital for getting me rehydrated and back on my feet again, and glad to be here in attendance tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I had one comment, really an off-the-wall comment, and I spoke to Hunter Simmons, I believe, who may be out on vacation tonight. But, the right-of-way approvals come through the Planning Commission, and I've had just a spat of complaints from citizens lately in regards to particularly internet service providers, lines being cut. Just a lot, and people are going out and marking them. So I know it's crazy to bring this up now, but it's just, it's been on my mind. I've actually witnessed it firsthand, and there's just seems to be too much of that going on. And I don't know if there's something we can do to penalize these people, but rubber stamping these right-of-way approvals doesn't seem to be. Doesn't mean much to them when they can just get a rubber stamp on new fiber or cable or copper or whatever it is that they're laying. And I just want the council and mayor to start thinking about what kind of stick that we can use with these people. They already cherry pick the new subdivisions. They go in and put that in there. It's kind of hard to get them to come in and put them in the old neighborhoods. So just be thinking about that, because I've probably had 5 complaints since the last meeting on that very subject. All right. With that, I'll close council comments, move to item 5, which is a final adoption, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 1800, item 6, leave policy, section C, specifically sick leave, adding 10, paid sick leave, item 10, which is paid sick leave donations. This was introduced at the city council meeting on September 23rd, 2024. Hannah is here to discuss this. She came up in the work session. We discussed this at length in the last council meeting. So if you have any questions, please ask Hannah. If not, I will ask for a motion for final
I
adoption.
move for final adoption.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any final discussion? Just want to say, the gentleman that complimented the city on moving this forward, I think it is a good move, and it certainly will help out those employees that don't have enough sick leave to maybe take care of their loved ones. So with that, clerk, if you'll call the question.
Place 1,
Aye.
place 3,
Aye.
place 4.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item number 6 is a final adoption of an ordinance to repeal and replace ordinance number 1756 in the Fairhope Code of Ordinances, Article 6, garbage and trash collection and disposal, Section 2175, rates, which was introduced at the city council meeting on September 23rd, 2024. Kim is here. If you have any questions about this, I believe that you should have the proposed rates. These would take place go into effect for fiscal year 2025, or since we're already into that, it would be November
1st,
November 1? And
2024.
and then you also have fiscal year 2026 included in that. So any questions for Kim? Not, I'll entertain a motion for final adoption.
Move for final adoption.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for final adoption. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Clerk, will you call the question?
Place 1,
Aye.
place 3,
Aye.
place 4.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 7 is a resolution. The public improvements indicated herein for our Encounter Commercial Retail Center are hereby accepted for public maintenance, subject to the bond posted, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance and guarantee agreement between the city of Fairhope and the Encounter Development LLC. Council, this is just paperwork, typical accepting for public maintenance, the improvements therein.
Make a motion, we accept the improvements for public maintenance.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 8 is a resolution that the public improvements indicated herein for Publix at Point Clear Center are hereby accepted for public maintenance, subject to the bond posted, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance and guarantee agreement between the city of Fairhope and R.W. Battles LLC. Same as number 7, and also item 9 will be the same.
I make a motion, we accept the improvements for public maintenance.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 9 is a resolution that public improvements indicated herein for Overland Subdivision Phase 2 are hereby accepted for public maintenance, subject to the bond posted, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance and guarantee agreement between the city of Fairhope and 68 Ventures Overland 2021 LLC.
Make a motion, we accept the improvements for Overland Phase 2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 10 is a resolution that public improvements indicated herein for the flats at East Bay are hereby accepted for public maintenance, subject to the bond posted, and authorize the mayor to execute the maintenance and guarantee agreement between the city of Fairhope and Stoa Construction LLC. And earlier I said 7, 8, and 9. I should have added 10 to that.
I make a motion that we accept the public improvements for flats at East Bay.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 11 is a resolution the City Council authorizes submission of an FY 2025 Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program 2, also known as A-Trip 2 grant application. The city has consistently identified the need to upgrade the intersection of Atlanta Avenue and Greeno Road, also known as US Highway 98, for safety. The total project cost is estimated to be $2,437,455.36. And if funded, the grant will pay $2 million, with the city's portion being $437,455.36, which is roughly an 80-20 split. We have been asked by Director Cooper to submit this grant application once again. That's not a guarantee that we will win it, but one of these days we might.
I'll make a motion, we submit the grant.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just that the reserve is also committed $80,000 towards that 437 that the city's responsible for.
Right, and leaves us what, 357, if that math is right? Okay, all right. We have a motion and a second?
Yes, you do.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 12 is a resolution. The City of Fairhope approves the FY 2025 annual flower procurement with a total cost not to exceed $150,000. There are multiple vendors and the times of procurement vary. This procurement is allowed pursuant to Resolution Number 1650-10 adopted in May 2010 that declares flowers as unique like items, and the extension of this categorization to include any cultivated varieties differentiated by scientific name, and there'll be a quiz on those names. All right.
Make a motion, we approve the 25 annual flower procurement.
Second.
Okay, I just want to add, this is a budgeted item each year, and I believe that is the budget. So any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 13 is a resolution. The City Council hereby authorizes Mayor Sullivan to execute an agreement for acceptance and processing of single-stream recyclables between Emerald Coast Utilities Authority and the City of Fairhope and the Emerald Coast Utilities Authority. I said it twice, but it's written twice. The agreement is intended as a temporary arrangement and does not establish any long-term or binding obligation beyond the terms outlined. Either party may terminate this agreement at any time for convenience with 30 days written notice. May I entertain a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the month-to-month agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I just want to add to this a little discussion is that we'll be moving to the MRF, the Baldwin County single-stream recycling facility sometime in the very near future. But in the meantime, we have to continue this contract to be able to dispose of our recyclables at a recycle facility. We could probably save a little bit of money by taking it to the landfill, but we feel like the citizens of Fairhope want to continue to recycle and not fill the earth with recyclable material. So the good thing is it can be ended with a 30-day notice, and hopefully the county recycling facility will be open within the next 2 or 3 months, we hope. Okay, I believe we have a motion and a second. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 14 is a resolution. The City Council approves the selection of Southeastern Archaeological Research to perform professional consulting services for RFQ PS 25-01, Architectural Historian Services for an architectural history review of the K1 Center, and authorizes Mayor Sullivan to execute a contract with a not-to-exceed fee of $8,720. Now, this is to meet the requirements stated by the Alabama Historic Commission, and as talked about in the work session, this would be to illustrate the long history of the K1 Center, which, as we all know, will turn 100 years old next year. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that selection.
Make a motion, we approve the selection.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 15 is a resolution to award a bid to Image Solutions USA for flame-resistant uniform pants annual contract with an annual contract amount not to exceed $35,000, which is the budgeted amount.
I make a motion, we award the bid for the flame-resistant pants.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Sometimes I think we need flame-resistant pants sitting up here. That didn't sound good, did it? Just thinking we're in the hot seat. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. Item 16 is a resolution the City Council reject all bids on bid number 24-64 to procure pest control services annual contract and authorize the rebid under Code of Alabama 1975, Section 41-16-57D.
Make a motion, we reject all bids.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of rejecting the bids, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 17 is a resolution the City of Fairhope approves the award of the request for quotes for labor, equipment, and incidentals for the new water main for Flying Creek Nature Preserve, John Martin Nature Center to SC Stagner Contracting Incorporated for a not-to-exceed project cost of $37,238 plus an additional allocation. Your material will say $20,000. We want to amend that to $24,000 for materials. I think that they used out of city stock approximately 23,000 plus. So this would be a not to exceed amount. So we could replenish our stock. So if you make the motion, please do and say with the amended amount for materials not to exceed 24,000.
All right, well, I make a motion, we award the RFQ to SC Stagner Contracting, but that we allow up to $24,000 for materials.
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 18 is a resolution to award a bid to Morrow Water Technologies for Fairhope Water System Test Well Project with a not-to-exceed amount of $1,224,542. And as discussed in the work session, Darrell educated us. This would be for a quantity of 4 to 5 test wells.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I didn't ask in the work session. Darrell, is that budgeted amount? Was that budgeted? I think you said it came in under budget, didn't you? Came in well under budget. Okay, well under budget. Thank you very much for that. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Item 19 is a resolution. The City Council approves the selection by Mayor Sullivan for professional engineering services for the repair and painting of the water tank at Water Treatment Plant Number 2 to Krebs Engineering, and hereby authorizes the mayor to negotiate the not-to-exceed fee to be approved by the council.
Make a motion, we approve the selection for professional engineering to Krebs.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, she'll bring back, they'll bring it back to negotiate. She'll bring back the fee to be voted on at a later time, so. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 20 is a resolution. The City Council reject all bids to procure wastewater treatment plant grit removal equipment under the Code of Alabama, 1975, Section 41-16-57D.
Make a motion, we reject all bids.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Darrell explained this in the work session once again. We appreciate that. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 21 is also related to that. Item 21 is a resolution. The City Council reject all bids to procure wastewater treatment plant screening equipment rebid under Code of Alabama, 1975, Section 41-16-57D.
Make another motion to reject all bids.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 22 is a resolution. Mayor Sullivan is hereby authorized to execute a contract amendment with Thompson Engineering for a request for qualifications, professional engineering service on the lift station and force main improvements for the sewer department to add additional construction, engineering, inspection fees for not to exceed cost of $25,100. The new contract total will be $294,100. And I will say that Mr. Johnson briefed us on this in the work session, and it was, you know, it's a pretty good cost for millions of dollars worth of work that's being done. And Mr. Johnson certainly felt like that they would do that and that they were doing a really good job at a really low cost for us. So I thought that was very important information for us. So with that, I'll entertain a motion that the mayor can be authorized to execute this contract.
I make a motion, we authorize the contract amendment to Thompson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 23 is a resolution that the city council hereby authorizes the mayor to execute the First Amendment to the utility connection agreement between the city of Fairhope and Cordy Cave and Mitchell One LLC. This is just to tie up some agreements. I believe that there were some fees paid, and this was just to kind of clean this up.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council. Item 24 is a resolution. The city of Fairhope approves the procurement of the annual renewal of the Microsoft 365 licenses. That is on Omnia Partners contract number 2018-011-02 with SHI International Org, and therefore does not have to be let out for bid. The total amount not to exceed $84,720.71. I believe that this is a budgeted item.
I make a motion, we approve the renewal, annual renewal.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. I like that Microsoft 365. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 25 is a resolution. The city council hereby approves and authorizes Mayor Sullivan to execute a memorandum of understanding between the Baldwin County Commission, the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, and the city of Fairhope, which outlines the purpose, goals, objectives, and procedures for the administration of the School Resource Officer Program at Baldwin County Public Schools. Basically provides a funding mechanism to pay for a large part of the SRO at each one of the Fairhope feeder pattern schools.
Make a motion, we approve the MOU.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Item 26, a resolution, the city of Fairhope approves the use of funds from the McKesson, Alabama settlement to sponsor 3 local educators to attend the CADCA National Leadership Forum in 2025. The CADCA, I don't know if they go by CADCA or not, is a nonprofit organization that strives to create healthy, safe, and drug-free communities. The amount requested for tickets, flights, registration, and hotel is $8,901. And I'll just reiterate, this is grant monies. This does not come out of the city's coffers. So
Make a motion, we approve the use of funds from the McKesson settlement.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 27 is a resolution. The Fairhope City Council authorizes Mayor Sullivan on behalf of the city of Fairhope to send Baldwin County Board of Education a letter of intent to purchase the property known as the Anna T. Jean School property located at Twin Beach and Section Street in Fairhope, Alabama. And for those online or in the audience that would like to know how much we're offering them for that, it's $1, which we hope to be successful with. So I'll entertain a motion to authorize the mayor to send the letter on behalf of us.
I make a motion, we authorize the letter of intent.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. You know, this is kind of a big deal. This has been talked about for a long time, and you know, I know that the Hope community is looking forward to leasing this land from the city should we be able to purchase this, and I'd say that that's a pretty high likelihood. So hopefully they will have a permanent home there very soon, so, or as long as they choose to lease the property from us. So, any other comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item 28 is a resolution that Mayor Sullivan is hereby authorized to execute extension number 2 for RFQ number PS 019-22, professional consulting services for grants and grant management with Grant Management LLC with all terms and conditions as the original bid award, and extend the contract until October 17th, 2025, with a not-to-exceed annual amount of $24,000. So no change in their fees. That comes out to $2,000 a month is how that comes out. So I entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we execute the extension, second extension.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item number 29 is a resolution to approve the 24-25 holidays. If you look them over, I think as stated in the work session, Lisa nails that down as best she can, taking into account the city calendar and everybody else's calendar, and sometimes we still have to move them, but I don't think we'll have to move any this year. Sometimes we have to move meetings around the holidays, but hopefully we won't move the holidays.
I make a motion, we approve the 24-25 holiday schedule.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Item 30 is a request of Darnell Wolf from the Baldwin County Humane Society requesting permission to close the streets in downtown Fairhope on Thursday, October the 24th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for the Fairhope Witches Ride 2024. The ride will begin and end at Coastal Alabama Community College Amphitheater. This whimsical bike ride benefits local animal rescue and helps animals throughout our area. And Chief Hollinghead stated in the work session that she had no issues with this request.
Make a motion, we approve the request to close the streets for the Witches Ride.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, request granted, thank you. Item 31 is a request of the Friends of Halstead Incorporated. This is a street closure on School Street between Morphy Avenue and Fairhope Avenue for the Live at 5 concert at Halstead Amphitheater for bus and truck parking. Let's see, should have the details. This would be Friday, November the 8th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And we didn't ask you about that, Chief. I don't have any notes on that item 31. Do you have any issues with that, Mayor? You familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
Is it just for that one particular concert or the whole series?
Just the
That's
concert.
just that one date, it says.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the street closure.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, please say nay. All right, motion carries. Item 32 is an application for a special events retail license by Kamal Constantine of Southern Buyers Group LLC, doing business as Piggly Wiggly Wine Walk, October 18th, 2024, at 111 St. James Avenue, Fairhope, Alabama, 36532. I believe that's going to be, is that a FIFA event there?
Might be held at that location.
Special events license, it didn't say.
I'm,
who.
it's about the only thing that I can think of there.
Or South Alabama.
It may be FIF because they're doing a fall event. I don't know if it's.
They have an event there, and there is a,
Doesn't say on there.
they have the little amphitheater there.
Doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Chief, do you know where that is?
Is-
Where is 111 St. James Avenue, the property that FIF has leased at the K1 Center?
Party at the Pavilion is.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That's what it is.
probably-
Is that on that date?
It's the Jubilee Party at the Pavilion, but that date's not right.
No, the 26th is the date on that.
I don't know what the 18th is.
The Piggly Wiggly Wine Walk, I mean, that could be I don't know, that could be a different. It could be, it's USA across the street, the old St. James Church.
I tell you what you could do. You could make, I don't think that there's going to be any problem with this. We typically approve all of these, but somebody could
It's
just
a-
say condition upon
It's a
chief
wine
giving
walk
approval.
for St. Jude. hosted
We could
by
do that,
Piggly
right,
Wiggly.
Marcus? You want to make a motion subject to the chief approving?
Signed it. She's already signed it. She's already signed it on the back.
Okay, you've already signed that then.
I make a motion, we approve the special events retail license.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All right, any further discussion? Okay, if chief signed it, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay. Motion carries. Item 33 is an application for a restaurant liquor license by Garrett DeLuca, Market by the Bay, Fairhope, Alabama. Our Fairhope LLC, doing business as Market by the Bay, Fairhope located at 7 South Church Street, Suite C, in Fairhope, Alabama. And Chief said in the work session, everything was good there. I believe that's the old Dragonfly location.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve that restaurant liquor license.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the license. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. All right, item 34 are reappointments and appointments for the Fairhope Public School Commission. I'm seeing reappointments would be Danielle Mashburn-Myrick and Miranda Shrubby, reappointed retroactively for their second terms, which began January 1, 2023, and will end December 31st, 2025. P.J. Hannon, reappointed retroactively for a second term, which began January 1, 2024, and will end December 31st, 2026. And Joe Kelly, reappointed for a second term, which will begin January 1, 2025, and end December 31st, 2027. Those were reappointments, and the appointment of Vicki Watterson Bailey, appointed for the first term, which will begin January 1st, 2025, and will end December 31st, 2027. Anybody want to make a motion for those reappointments and appointments?
So moved. I was
Second.
giving him a chance.
We have a motion and a second, and for discussion, Councilman Conyers, did you make every motion on the agenda
I
tonight?
believe so.
And Jay, did you make a second on every motion on the
I
agenda
did,
tonight?
that is correct.
For 34 items? Well, I guess we didn't vote on the first 5, but anyway, all right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Just want to thank all the people that serve on the Fairhope Public Schools Commission. All those in favor of the reappointments and appointment, please say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. Next item on tonight's agenda will be public participation. If you have anything else to bring forth to the city, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and you'll be given 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Mary Kelly, and my address is 19535 South Ingleside. I will have a slab next to my house, and it's 276 feet from the road on Ingleside. I wanted to put a RV top on it, and they said I couldn't do it, and I just wanted to know. Is
Okay.
it possible? Can you want to look at it and see?
We can take a look at it. Our building official
Walked out.
just walked out. Eric, if you're in the lobby, can you hear me? Could you come back? Yeah, give me that, what's that address again?
19535 South.
Ma'am, I mean, I'm kind of guessing here. Eric just walked back in. Sorry, Eric. The only thing that I could think of, there could be many, many things. It could be building setbacks, it could be, and Mike, is Mike still here? Mike left as well? Okay. I would just ask, so what we could do, Eric, was ask the mayor to ask you and the building department to look into
Sure.
her complaint and ask, why, she can't build the RV. It was a cover for your RV? Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Oh, can we hang out there? That's nice. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's kind of an open-ended question for a council member to answer because it could be setbacks, it could be any number of things. Is there Eric, do you know at 19535 South Ingleside, if there's anything in the zoning there that would prevent that?
Possibly, it would also possibly be the lot configuration and how it's shaped and where it can go. That's really, if it's a setback question, I'm gonna have to defer to planning and zoning. But ma'am, I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
my card, and if you need me to help you facilitate getting with someone, okay, fair enough.
I was going to say, Miss Kelly's talked to all of us multiple times, so she's aware of how to get in contact with us. We're happy to help her.
Yeah.
Okay,
They always need to be cleaned out. Always.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Sorry to call you back in. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Hey, how are y'all tonight?
We're good. How you
Brian-
doing, Mr. Dassinger?
Good, good. I'm Brian Dassinger, and I'm just here on on behalf of the Baldwin County Conservative Coalition, and I wanted to let everyone know that we will be hosting the second annual Faith Family Freedom Fest this Saturday, October 19th, from 11 to 2 at the Fairhope Public Pier, at the beach. It's going to be complete with free food, music, games, inflatables. It is going to be taking place slightly before the 4th annual Fairhope Pride Festival. So I just wanted to let everyone know that if you want to bring your family down to have a good, clean, wholesome time and have some free food, please come and join us that day at 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Donna Alsop. Met you guys at the last meeting. So I'm not sure how things work in the council, but I remember listening to some of the citizens and talking about concerns around, books in the library, that are inappropriate or they feel that are inappropriate, the Pride Parade, just several things that people brought up, and I feel like nobody got answers back, and I don't see it on the agenda. So how do you all follow up with the citizens with our concerns that we have, as opposed to just sitting there, yep, okay, yeah, thank you for sharing, and then we walk off, and then nothing's ever done? So what are you going to do to take action with concerns? I mean, I know you mentioned you've had people reach out to you personally, Jack, to have concerns and conversation around, but, just for us citizens who are concerned about certain things, I mean, how do you follow that up with, if you have this open to the public and you have an agenda, how do you expect to follow up with us with our concerns?
Yeah, I'll try to answer some of those questions. And concerning, library books, I believe that while we were having that meeting, there was another meeting going on out in the library. And Mayor, you could, and Councilman Conyers, you're the liaison, you can vouch for this. I believe that they adopted the new standards put forth by the State Library Association. Is that-
So the State Library Association had, they put forth some standards, but I don't think it was just a one-size-fits-all. So the library approved policies that they felt would be in line with what the new state requests were, and have submitted that to the state to, I guess, to be either approved or not approved, so.
So that's
That
one
was
thing,
happening.
and for us to address that when that was going on.
Yeah.
You'd hate to say something and there's something go on over there that you didn't know was, happened. Let's say we got a surprise, they
Right.
rejected that, I mean,
Yeah.
God forbid that. It just, things like that, they don't always happen.
Yep.
It's not common, but we wanted to be careful about speaking to that issue. I believe to the to the immigration issue, which was a lot of people's concern. Mayor, would you address, would you maybe define for the people what actions that we as a city have taken? And I will say, that we hear everybody's concerns, and there are concerns. And, I think that there were a lot of rumors that flew around, at that time. So we do what we can, and, it's a federal issue. So
Correct.
what
It
we
is.
have to do, though, is stand up for our citizens the best we can.
That's right.
And we have taken some actions
Yep.
Since that meeting. So I'll ask the mayor to
be
share
happy
those
to.
actions which have been taken.
So one thing that we did was we did send a letter to the Department of Homeland Security and to the Department of Justice. Obviously, when we left the meeting, we talked to our federal officials because immigration is not something we deal with locally. So we did talk to our federal officials, but we did write a letter saying, and I'll basically read it. It just says, "I'm writing to express a serious concern regarding immigration issue that has recently surfaced within the city of Fairhope. Given the importance of this matter, I am writing to seek your assistance in finding answers for myself and the citizens of Fairhope. In recent months, public concerns have been raised relative to the parole program for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. Specifically, within Fairhope, there have been rumors that Haitian immigrants are being placed by the Department of Homeland Security within our city. While the city of Fairhope remains committed to enforcing immigration laws, far too often, federal policies place an undue burden on our local resources, which are already stretched far too thin. Our country has a proud tradition of providing refuge for those fleeing oppression and seeking the American dream. However, we also have an obligation to ensure that our nation's immigration policies do not create additional strains on local governments or jeopardize the safety and well-being of our citizens. Therefore, should DHS intend to place migrants within the city of Fairhope, I strongly recommend and encourage that our local government be given the opportunity to engage in the decision-making process before such decision is made, to ensure resources are adequately met for our citizens and immigrants alike. As mayor, I am hopeful that you can provide answers, negate misinformation, and ensure that meaningful consultation related to decisions that impact our local community occurs. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you in advance for your time and attention to this matter. This was copied to not only our federal delegation, but also to our state senator, Chris Elliott, and also Representative Jennifer Fidler. I also did get a letter, too, from Governor Ivey, who, along with 24 other governors from around the state, also sent, from around the country, sent letters to President Biden and Vice President Harris, talking about the programs and demanded things like, looking for some, for the safety of the citizens of the United States, asking for things like how these folks are vetted, how the sponsors are vetted, and talking about the undue burden that they're putting on local governments and on their states. So there's been a lot of activity regarding immigration in the past couple weeks. And I know also Councilman Robinson, I could not sit in on a conference call with Senator Tuberville last week, and Councilman Robinson did that for me. So, we're continuing to navigate this, but again, immigration is not something that's handled at the local level. So we're fighting an uphill battle, but doing the best we can to make our voices heard and make sure that they know this is not something we want or our citizens want.
Good.
Okay.
And to just follow up on that and address some of your concerns, sometimes there are things that are brought up in the council meeting by the public that are issues or concerns that they're having. And even though we may discuss that concern in the council meeting, a lot of times it's things that are outside of what the council has the ability to control.
Yep.
And so sometimes you're not going to see that on the agenda because we don't really have any authority to act over whatever that concern may be. But in regard specifically to that conference call, there are some really concerning things going on, obviously, and people being allowed or brought into this country that are being designated as legal, even though they're not technically complying with the requirements that we have historically applied. But the consensus in these multiple ways that you can bring people in under this legal status is that they're supposed to communicate these things to local government to make sure that whatever local government they are attempting to send these people to, that city or that county has the resources to accommodate but they're not doing those things at this point. And so there's a lot of issues coming from the federal level that are not being communicated down to us. But hopefully now, the more we push and the more we insist on some level of cooperation for our community, hopefully that stuff will be changed.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. That is very helpful and reassuring to get that feedback from you guys. Even if it's something as simple as, we don't have the answer, but you brought it up in the last meeting, so we're escalating it up. If you just address it and let the citizens know, I think it would be beneficial for everybody. And I do appreciate that, because that was the whole reason I came last time, was because I know, even though at a local level, Corey can't make that decision on his own, right? But this went to the federal level, that letter did, and so when the feds say this is what y'all are gonna do, y'all have to do it regardless, right? And so that was my concern, was, okay, I don't want us to agree with that. So I really do appreciate that feedback and that input.
Sure, thank you very
I
much.
think that I would just ask everybody that's concerned to continue to apply pressure on the proper authorities. We certainly are by, writing these letters. I spoke to the mayor again earlier today. I'd spoken to another local mayor about this, and there's some other strategies that they're discussing. I think you said you're going to have a mayor's meeting, you're going to bring this up
We are.
in just a couple of days.
Right.
So
Next week.
that
Next week.
continues to evolve, and, a lot of times the next day, just to kind of give you, you said, what goes on behind the scenes. The next day, we may call Marcus or Chris or one of our attorneys and go, what steps can a local government take? And we'll have that discussion, but you don't always want to talk about that strategy in a forum that could just, go here or there, and get sideways, because we have to be very careful, to follow the law and not really step off in something, say something incorrectly and, wind up in some type of lawsuit. So we have to follow the law. And sometimes that's why we're a little more tight-lipped than we want to be. We want to say things. I can tell you many times I've wanted to, scream out loud, but you just, you have to say it. But, great questions, and I hope that, it answers some of your questions, though.
It did. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen. Doug Greengard, 311 Wakefield Avenue, Fairhope, Alabama, Mayor. Thank you for sharing with us the information that was just brought forth, and I appreciate the nice lady here asking that question. I guess my question is, would that information had just come out tonight, was it planned to come out at some point? Because if it had not been asked, would that have been communicated to our public? You just shared with us information that we think is very important, but it wasn't shared at any other point during this meeting. So were you just prepared to share that because just in case we showed up to ask that question?
Well, to answer you honestly, sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, the mayor was going to read that in her comments, but then we thought, well, if nobody asked the question, we'll save that for another time. But if it gets asked, then go for it. So
Well, why would there be a better time? I don't understand. This is the time. This is an urgent question. This is an urgent issue. And for you did, but you only did that because you were pressed to do that. You didn't do that voluntarily during this meeting. This is, you talked at the last meeting about communication. And this is information that should be presented in a meeting like this. We shouldn't have to come and ask the question to get the answer. This is on the top of people's minds. There were hundreds, maybe 400 plus people at this meeting 2 weeks ago. They didn't show up for any other reason other than they deeply care about our community.
well, we wanted to huddle up and come up with the game plan too. I
Well-
mean, which is what we did. We needed to take take all the feedback, which we appreciated, and come up with a game plan. I don't think we wanted to generate a game plan in a meeting. It's almost impossible in that environment to think clearly and get all the facts that you need and put your thoughts together, put that in a proper sequence. And I mean,
I understand, but that's really not the point that I'm making. The point I'm making is this is vital information that could be of tremendous value for residents of our area, and it should have been shared in this meeting without having to have been provoked so that you were holding it back, only if needed. One other thing, too, as my time dwindles, I think Mr. Martin, who obviously is not here tonight, should issue a formal apology to the citizens of this area for the actions that he took. He is showing himself to be highly irresponsible. I do not believe he's qualified to be a member of this city council. Thank you and have a blessed night.
anyone else?
My name's Lynn Ellis. Am I supposed to give my address?
Please.
312 Majestic Beauty Avenue, Fairhope. And my little friend that's older than I am and shorter than I am had somebody break into her car and sleep in it that couldn't speak English and was part of whatever transient people are around. And I'm just concerned and wanted to mention that and have that on the record, that I'm here as a concerned citizen about that issue that gentleman was speaking about, that, the people that are being brought into our community that are endangering people.
Yeah.
Address,
Yeah, go ahead.
address.
I've asked her to a couple of times. She's just afraid. And she lives in a trailer park just south of where Cecil's Seed Store is. And, that's what she can afford to live in
Sure.
and where she is. And she's my personal friend. And I'm just, the person, she's heard activity and didn't go to bed till 12 or 1 o'clock at night. And then the person broke into the car that was locked after that and, kicked the seat back in the headrest and, did all kinds of stuff in the car. And it was terrifying to her, just terrifying. And, the person didn't speak English. I don't know what the rest of the encounter was, but it was very troubling, very traumatic to her.
Absolutely.
And it was traumatic to me to hear my dear elderly friend.
That certainly sounds
that's
like
older than my elderliness.
a police report and also contact with the landlord probably to eradicate that. But we also, and this may be overlapping with the other issue we've been talking on, but there is an ordinance, and I know this wouldn't necessarily have prevented her situation that evening, but there is an ordinance about sleeping outdoors or not, on public property, and I feel like that needs to be enforced a little more stringently, because I have noticed an uptick lately, and have mentioned it a few times, but I definitely think that needs to be enforced, Chief, and I'm just seeing more transient individuals here, and I'm not trying to tread on somebody that's having a hard time, but it seems like the tendency is that folks that are in that kind of transient nature, there's typically some kind of other issue going on, whether it's mental health or some type of an addiction, and I just don't know that that's what we want to see in our community. And I've worked with homeless families with children, and that's a different issue, and that's handled very differently, and they don't want to be seen out in public, and so they're housed through a church network system. So to me, that's very different, but this other issue, I have noticed a pretty dramatic increase over the last 12 months, so.
She may need to contact the sheriff's office, that may be in county jurisdiction right there too. But I would advise.
Right there on Greeno Road.
Yeah, but she may need to contact them, and I would definitely advise her to make a report. If they don't go do anything about it, at least she's got something documented there that it's happened. She identifies it, okay?
Yeah, I was glad to have the opportunity to put it on record. That was the reason why I came tonight.
Okay, yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And, and let me just say this and piggyback of that, thank you, is that while there is concern about the potential relocation of immigrants. We don't have any evidence at this point that any immigrants have been relocated to the Fairhope area or even the Baldwin County area at this point.
Public participation still open. Is there anyone else? Okay. Seeing no one, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.